Today will be about the entire theme of 2026 for me personally, which is making money online and becoming financially independent, of course. And yeah, let's dig into it. So what I've done so far. A couple of years ago, I finished my master thesis and finally got done with studying. That was a whole procedure and it took me way too long, but I finally got it done. And now it was the question, what's next? I was thinking about applying for some jobs and I tried it here and there, but the job market really wasn't that great. It was right after COVID. It was hard to get the jobs that I wanted. Plus, I was a little bit older than the usual applicant and I didn't really know what I wanted to do. There were a couple jobs that interested me, but I just didn't get them. Then one of my best buddies actually asked me to join one of his startups, and that's exactly what I did. We worked together for some time, and it really wasn't that bad. I learned a lot of new things about myself, about how it is to work, by yourself or as a startup entrepreneur. I learned a ton about customer service, how to market a product, and most importantly, what it's like to work in an environment where no one tells you exactly what to do, and every decision is up to you. So every research you do and any advantage or disadvantage of a decision is entirely up to you to figure out yourself. I had to learn to govern my own time, structure my day, have a routine, structure what I want to do in a day, what is more important, prioritize, all these things you never really learn. You kind of learn in studies, but not really. It's different if you're actually trying to create a product or trying to sell something online. And then eventually through this business or through this startup, I also got introduced into the marketing side, the social media side. And this was the most important step for me personally. When I was younger, there wasn't any social media, very little, like ICQ and then MySpace, I guess. And then later on, when Facebook and Instagram became popular, I wasn't really into it. I never liked it. I didn't post much when I was younger. And yeah, so I never really learned much about this side, but through the marketing aspect and through this business aspect, I really learned how important it is to get into social media and how powerful it can be. That really got me hooked and intrigued. And without talking too much about the business side, because, that might be a video for some other time, I dug deeper into social media. So once we decided to stop with the entire business, let that die out and go our separate ways in good terms, of course, the thought of the social media still stuck in my head. And I wanted to learn more and do more with this newfound interest. Another thing that really bothered me is that I always played the safe card. I'm not naturally a risk-averse person, so it was kind of annoying to me, for me personally, that I didn't take a lot of risks. And I wanted to do something that is super uncomfortable. And there was nothing more uncomfortable in my mind than creating TikToks and making cringe videos and posting them online. So for me, I took it as a challenge. I wanted to try it. I wanted to see what it's all about. I wanted to learn more about it. And that's what I did. I created 2 accounts. One was just for private. I still have that account. I'm actually posting on it now. Those are some of the oldest and first videos I ever made. So if you're interested in that, check out that TikTok account. Yeah, you'll see some really cringe stuff. From there, I had a couple of videos that did really well. So I made a new account focusing only on that theme. It was about TV shows and soundtracks and scores. I, doubled down and did that for a while. I got up to 15,000 followers and it was really fun. I had some really big hits. I had a couple of videos that went over 1 million views and it felt amazing. And it felt crazy to think that 1 million people saw my face or my cringe video and whatever I was doing. That got me hooked even more. But I also felt deep inside that that is not what I wanted to do long term, even if I would make good money with it, which I didn't. I wasn't monetized at that point. But even if I would have been, I don't think that's something that I could have stuck with consistently, making these kind of like soundtrack videos and guessing videos or TV show videos. I love TV shows and movies, but that's not going to be my main topic that I'm seriously interested in. So after a 6-week trip to Thailand with that said buddy that I also had the business with, I, found some new energy, some new motivation and cleared my mind a little bit. And I figured since 2020, the COVID crisis and everything, streaming was exploding. And I've always been interested in gaming. I've always been a gamer, always will be. That's just how it is. As a kid, I played Pokemon and GameCube and Nintendo 64. And before that, arcade games, all that kind of stuff. That's always been with me. I invented full-on games and worlds with my Lego or Playmobil when I was younger. So that was always a big part of my life and always will be. So I thought streaming really fits the bill. It really fits my interests and my strengths. And it was super hyped in the last years. So I thought, why not try it out? That's what I have been doing for the past 2 years. I've been working on trying to make it as a streamer. I had some money set aside and I'm living at my parents to save rent, save some money, and that's how it was the last 2 years. And I gotta say, it is a lot harder than I thought. The market is super saturated, and it's way more difficult to break through than I ever would have anticipated. Unless you're a pro player in a certain game or you are at that level, and aspiring to become a pro or just that good that people can learn from you, or you're super funny, super entertaining, and you have a mass appeal, it's incredibly hard to break through and make it actually, to really get those viewer numbers up, because you need at least 100 to 200 viewers to make a living off of it. And that doesn't really include sponsors. Of course, that's not a like dead set number. There's a lot of factors that go into it, but as a general idea, you at least need 100 to 200 viewers, I would say. And even then, it's not like you're living like a king. So a lot of people think that streamers make so much money, but it's only the top percent. I had some really great moments and some really great phases in my streaming career. And one of the best was during Counter-Strike a couple of months ago, where I averaged around 40 to 50 viewers for some time. And that is already in the top 1% of streamers worldwide. And I barely made any money. Let me just tell you, it's not as much as people think. And the work you put in, the time you put in, and the thought you put in is really substantial. I'm not saying that streaming is necessarily a difficult job or more difficult than any other job out there. Of course, once you made it, it sounds like a dream that you're just sitting there gaming all day and getting lots of money, but that's not really the reality. Actually, getting this viewership and breaking out as a streamer is incredibly hard to do. It's simple. I think anyone can do it, theoretically, but actually doing it in reality is not that easy. On top of that, the discoverability function from Twitch is disastrous. It's terrible. So not only are you going to have to learn how to set up a stream with OBS and different software and camera settings and audio, get a microphone like this. You don't have to get one like this. There's simple ones you can use for sure. But all these things that you have to learn by yourself and research by yourself. No one's going to tell you what to do and how to do it and what is optimal for your style of stream, right? But what I'm trying to say is, because the Twitch discoverability is so terrible and it's so hard to break through as a streamer without anything else, you also have to learn to, manage social media. Create TikToks, create shorts, put that online, create YouTube videos, longer ones, learn how to edit, learn how to cut videos, how to B-roll, how to record everything, how to store everything, how to create hooks so people actually, and thumbnails that people actually click the videos. So you're not just sitting there playing a game and suddenly you're gonna get rich because people watch you. No, it's actually a ginormous endeavor, and you have to learn so many things and wear so many hats at the same time. And you barely ever have a day off, because obviously, even on a Saturday and Sunday, you want to be streaming when people have their days off from their work so they can watch you. So there's really way more to it than people think, and that included me. As you can see, it's some money on the side, and I'm super, super thankful for anyone and everyone that has ever donated or subscribed or supported in any kind of way, left a follow, left a lurk. So that means just watching the stream while actively doing something else. Any kind of support, I'm super thankful for. You guys are absolute legends, but it's still not even remotely enough to live off of independently and be financially stable and independent or free. That's a very tough pill to swallow. So much work, time, and effort with very little to show for it. So once I realized that streaming will take way too long and way too much, and I might not be the best fit for a mass appeal, I got really burnt out very fast. It was hard for me to get motivated to push that go live button and sit there, be entertaining, be active, and enjoy what I'm doing when I know I'm barely getting anything out of it. And the pressure is getting more and more day by day, week by week, that I need to make money to sustain myself and to live independently. Once that happened, I realized, okay, this is not something that I really want to pursue. I always will want to stream, and I will, do it on the side as a side hustle and just for fun, because it's amazing meeting all these people out there, and I do genuinely enjoy it. But it's just not feasible at the moment. That got me thinking, why not go back to content creation? I did enjoy that. That was fun. And maybe I can make that work a little bit better. Not just like the shorts and the TikToks that I did before, the cringe stuff that was just for me to get outside of my shell and learn more. I wanted to learn more about YouTube long form as well, actually create longer form content, kind of like right now, although right now it's more like a story time and a podcast and just talking and yapping, but actual content that I script and prepare, and some fun, entertaining, but educational content as well. In the end, a combination of both, shorts and long form. I did have a YouTube channel already where I did both those things, but that was more for fun while I was streaming and to get some exposure. I started with, World of Warcraft and League of Legends, and eventually played CS and made videos about that, the journey of starting. Those videos actually really popped off at the beginning. That's also why I got so many viewers in. And it worked really well for a time, but it was never monetized. I, funnily enough, only got it monetized a couple of months ago. And since then, I started making some videos for Counter-Strike, but then a new game released in October last year, Arc Raiders. And that was so much fun and so addictive that I thought, why not reignite my interest in content creation and make some videos for Arc Raiders or about Arc Raiders? And that's what I did. And some of the videos did pretty well. And for me, it's pretty well if it's a couple thousand views, right? Let's not forget I'm a super, super small creator. So any kind of 1,000+ view video for me is a W. I know that's in the grand scheme of things and YouTube is absolutely nothing and pathetic, but for me, I was proud of it. And it was interesting to see that a video that did 1,000 views made some money. I actually made real money with the videos that I put on YouTube. It was such a cool feeling. But the best thing was that one video that I posted, I think 2 or 3 months ago, is still going pretty strong. And I think it has like 20,000 views, 25,000 views, something like that. And it's still making some money. It's only a little bit, it's not too much, but the fact, like that realization was so addictive that something that I posted and created weeks ago, sometimes even months ago, is still doing well enough to bring in some money. That realization is just like, I want to do this. I want to do this more. I want to, the feeling of, you know, being anywhere in the world, being able to post it from anywhere, and then having this video sit there for years and years. I don't even remember making that video, you know, in theory, and it still brings in money. That got me super hyped and interested again. And now the next question was, do I want to do this with just gaming or other channels? And gaming is a passion and it's fun, but streaming so much and trying to make videos for it and being forced to work on it kind of destroyed this passion and kind of destroyed this hobby for me. It wasn't fun anymore. I wasn't gaming with friends anymore. It was waking up and trying to think how I can make this a business, how I can make money with this. And that's something a lot of people also forget, that if you follow your passions and try to make a business out of your passion, those things become intertwined, and eventually, if you're not super careful, destroys what you're actually passionate about. So I thought, what other interests do I have that I find interesting, but isn't really like a passion or a hobby that I would destroy through it? And ideas have never been an issue for me. So I had a list of 50, 60 ideas ready to go. And now it was all about just, you know, sifting through it and see what I want to do. So yeah, I dusted off all my editing software stuff and, you know, all my programs that I was using for making these Counter-Strike and League of Legends videos. And I got ready. I got prepared again. I made some notes. I wrote down ideas. So which of all the projects and ideas do I actually follow up, and what do I commit to? Like I mentioned in an earlier video, focus and overthinking has always been one of my issues and biggest weaknesses. So now it was really important that I work on that, since 2026 will have to be my year where it works, and I'm sure it will. I'm fully convinced I'm going to work my ass off and do the best I can. I narrowed it down to 2 more main channels aside from this one, and this one is not even going to be the most important one. This is just for me to talk freely, experiment around with ideas, you know, use it as a diary, like I always repeat and say in my other previous videos. And this is just whenever I feel like I have something to share, I will share it here. It's quantity over quality, and I'm going to keep it at that because otherwise I will stress out too much. And then if I have too many projects going on again, it's again less focus and less quality for the other channels. If you haven't seen the other 2 videos yet, the other 2 main channels will be about my investing journey, learning investing from more or less zero and trying to get into that field. And by investing, I mean making money online, and also, investing time, effort, research, and money. So, right, there's a lot of ways to invest. That could be collecting, that could be in the stock markets, commodities, but also, investing in TikTok Shop Live, making money from TikTok Shop, that kind of stuff. Anything with making money online and financial independence and financial literacy is going to be on that channel. The other channel is going to be a review channel where I just spam reviews. And that's because it's one of my, hobbies anyways, to rate, rank, and review things in my head. And I have strong opinions about things, and I just enjoy being stimulated by different impulses and different products and services. I always have new interests every week, and it just fits the bill perfectly. And I'm going to see it as my secondary channel. The investing journey will be my main focus, and then the reviews will be on the side. Until maybe something takes off and I can focus on that a little bit more. And of course, let's not forget, I do have an already monetized channel with the gaming channel, so I will not completely let that die out. Anytime I do have an idea and some burst of energy or motivation, I will try to make a video here and there, maybe once every 2 weeks or so on that channel. And what I'm also not going to let it die is because this entire idea of this 2026 project is that I will only work with my initial investment of about 500 euros that I can spare. And yes, I'm pretty poor when it comes to liquidity, plus any money that I make online with any of these projects. So to put that all in a much clearer sentence real quick, I'll try to make some money with my streaming and my gaming channel, and obviously with all these other channels that I'm planning. I'll put that money into investments of any sorts, experiments that I'm going to try, content that I'm going to try. I'll journal that process, and then I'll review any product, service, tool, or website that I used in the entire endeavor, so I can combine it all. All that being said, if one of the channels really pops off due to some videos or some interest, and there is the possibility to make real money and, have some success with it, then I'll jump on that first and I will let everything else fall back a little bit, focus on that and try to, double down, make some money. And then I can always come back to the other topics once I've settled a little bit and, pushed my advantage during that time. The worst I can do is split my attention too much, especially when I see something is working comparative to the other things. Because as you know by now, main goal for 2026, financial independence, moving out, having my own freedom and doing whatever I want to do with these channels and be, financially stable. I don't need to be rich. I just want to live my own life on my own terms. Now you're caught up to a certain extent and you know what my aim is, what my goal is for 2026 and where I'm at and what I've done so far. Let's see how all that's going to go. And for anyone following along this entire journey and watching these videos, front to back, I really appreciate it. And if you're on your own journey at the moment and you're trying to get inspired or something, I hope I can help you a little bit along the way. Maybe eventually we get to know each other and I can help you in the comments or something and you can give me advice. Good luck to you as well, of course, and see you soon.